Hey guys, what's up? And I'm going to do a question and answer today for Homestead Monday.
Homestead Monday. I
It's a new
love
thing.
homesteading.
Running with life.
Anything about homesteading, I enjoy it.
This here, as most of you know, is Dave from the Kentucky Homestead. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. He has some sweet cabin videos, some gardening stuff, some peach from seeds.
Yeah, that's actually pretty popular.
Yeah,
you know?
stupid popular.
Yeah.
Wow. He inspired me to do YouTube. A big inspiration for me. So there's a lot of questions people have about homesteading and like why you would do this. And I'm going to answer those questions today for you with his words.
All right, thanks.
So,
I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It really does mean a lot to me that people would be so interested in what it is that I'm doing every day. I'm like, I'm no big deal, whatever.
It's crazy how YouTube, like, you look and people are just watching your life.
I know. I enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing it, and I'm glad that you, and if not you, maybe you will enjoy what it is that we're doing. It's pretty amazing. I enjoy my life, and it means an awful lot to me. So, go ahead. Let's do it.
So Dave, why Kentucky? You're from Northeast Ohio.
I know, I am.
Why Kentucky?
Okay, so me and David, where were you born at? You know,
Japan.
Japan. Dave was born in Japan.
Dual citizenship.
And I was in the Marine Corps for 12 years, and me and my wife wanted to do something different. We had a bunch of money, and we were saving it for a rainy day, and we didn't know what to do with it. And so we decided, maybe we should invest our money. And we're like, well, if we put it in the stock market, that's a chance that we'll lose it all. But, one of the few things that they're not making any more of is land. And I figured if I put everything that I had into parcels of land, that maybe we would come out on top in the end, in the long run, if it came time that we needed to, sell our land or whatever, where we would have the money in something tangible instead of, gold or silver or the stock market. They're not making any more land. And that's why I decided that I was going to put my money in land. And to get to the question of how we picked Kentucky, I didn't pick a place to live. I picked a criteria. I made a list of everything that I wanted, and then I made a list of everything that I needed, right? And then I made a list of everything that we would hope to have had, things that would have been nice to have. So on the top of the list, we had oil, gas, and mineral rights was number 1. Number 2 was there needed to be water above and below. Number 3, it needed to be 100 acres or more. Number 4, it needed to have 30 or 40 acres of cleared land because we wanted to have animals, things along those lines. And number 5, we wanted to have a lot of woods, a lot of big old trees. It hadn't been timbered in a long time. And the reason is because that me and my wife, we want to build a timber frame home out of the trees from our own property. And then the list kept going on, and we built a list of everything that we needed. So one of them, it was that, you could build a place there without graded lumber, because in order for me to, get a place like that, I would have to cut down trees, send them off to a lumber mill, have them cut, and then grade them, and then send them back to me, and that's an astronomical cost that I wasn't really willing to deal with. So I'll have the lumber graded, but I'll have it done by a professional in my way, not the way that the city or the local government decides that they want. And so in the very long run end, we searched for about 8 to 10 years. And my wife finally contacts me one night when we were working. Both of us were working, and she says, "Dave, check this property out." And I said, "All right, I'll look at it." In just a few minutes of looking at the pictures, I fell in love. And I fell in love with something over pictures, It's kind of like those girls you meet on Facebook, and you're like, meet Diamond Stud, star 65, right? And you're like, wow, she's amazing. This will work out, right? And so I was really skeptical at first, and I decided that we would continue to look at it. So since I was in Kuwait at the time, I was working at the American Embassy in Kuwait. I was the detachment commander out there, and really had no way of getting down to Kentucky to check this property out. I said, ring, 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 ring. Mom, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? Yeah. Oh, you have plans? well, I need you to do something for me. So I called my mom and my dad, and they went down there that weekend, and they met with the owner who flew up from Florida, and it worked out to where they loved it. They loved it. And I knew that they knew what it was that I was looking for. So I called, I was talking to my mom on the phone a couple of days later after she had gotten back, and I said, Mom, how did it go? Oh my God, isn't it as amazing as you thought it was? And she goes, Dave, don't even waste your time. That property is a garbage dump. There's nothing about that you would like. And you know what? It had been like that for months, because I kept sending them. I sent them to West Virginia. I sent them to Virginia.
Well,
I sent
you have
them.
some supportive parents.
Oh my God, I sent them all over the eastern United States looking for property for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I was disappointed and upset. And then she was like, Dave, I'm joking. This property is the one you're looking for. You need to make an offer on it.
So how much land is on that property?
It's about 150 acres. It says, you know, 140, 135, 140 plus or minus, but after doing the, you know, the Google Earth around it and walking the property, it's somewhere around 150 acres.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty amazing.
So, for those who've seen your videos, you're rebuilding a cabin, and you're doing this at essentially a rapid pace, in my opinion. It's going really, really fast. Now,
I got good help, man.
I went from like a 2-room cabin to a wide open space cabin with a wood burner, which was just recently put in.
Yeah,
one of your last videos.
It was a lot of fun.
Why rebuild this cabin instead of do a timber frame or something, which is in your plans eventually?
Yeah, you know what? So, in anything you do, you know, you want to kind of have an idea of what it is that you want. You have to learn how to do these things. So, I mean, like Tim, when you decided to redo your basement, what were the things that you were thinking in your head when you did some of this stuff?
Basement's flood, so I'm in a high flood zone where I'm at. So I decided it has to be waterproof. So anything I have is treated wood or metal, as you maybe see here, and stuff like that. So I had to have waterproof, so I wasn't restarting.
Right. So I mean, it's kind of the same concept. He did all these things in hopes that he would learn something new from creating, but came up with a plan, executed that plan, and finished it. So that's why with the cabin we decided that we were going to go ahead and rebuild it. You know, we had all this land and nowhere to go. My mom and dad's camper sits on that property, but that's not big enough for like the 7 of us, and then my parents too. It's like this big by this big.
Everyone's sleeping on top of
each other. We're sleeping on top of each other. Can't get coffee in the morning because the coffee pot runs out too quick. So we need like 2 separate spaces. So the cabin was kind of like a learning experience for me. I wanted to do something from the ground up without having to spend $1 million. And like, if you ever try to build anything, you realize that the cost comes from, you know, the cost mostly comes from, you know, starting from the beginning. Excavation and you know, buying all the lumber and doing, you know, everything. I could have done all that, but I'd only been about a quarter of the way finished from where I am now, and I wanted to make something new from something old. I'm really about the
history.
Yeah,
what's going on. That's fantastic. I'm the same way.
Oh yeah. So I
you gotta appreciate the history of something that's already there.
Yeah.
To establish something.
Yeah, you know, I really wanted to rebuild the old house and get it to where it was livable, but somebody come and stole all the tin off the backside of the house. So if you looked at any of my videos, you'd notice that the backside of the house would be all caved in, and the front looks pretty good, but it's all caved in from the doorway all the way back. So there's just no salvaging, there's no reconstruction. It's an easy go.
Why homesteading? Where's this bug? Because I caught the homesteading bug because my wife's family is farmers.
Oh yeah.
So me not coming from a farm. My grandfather was a farmer, but me not doing anything but growing tomatoes in a pot in my house. I saw this fascination. Why homestead?
Well, as far back as I can remember, I had an herb garden when I was like 9, 8 years old. I went to the store, or, you know, the local. What do they call those things? The garden center, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And I had basil and thyme and oregano, and I grew all this stuff. And at 9 years old, I was fascinated with cooking, and cooking is something that I enjoy it so much. So learning how to grow these things and being able to do it from the beginning. Like, I knew how to season a chicken at 10 or 11 years old. And it was because I was interested in where my food came from and why things tasted so well.
And that's why us homesteaders do it, because you want to know where it comes from.
Yeah.
And then the process of watching something grow, it's like having kids. Every year, you watch it grow from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It truly is. And how'd you get your family on board with all this?
Oh man, getting your family on board with like your ideas is really.
Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. For more videos on home brewing, winemaking, homesteading, and other gardening type things, please subscribe. Also, if you like that video, smash the like button and comment below. Thanks, and cheers.